All right, hello, NuPIC, and welcome to Sprint Planning for Sprint number 27. This is July 25th, 2004. I just got back from OSCON. There's a trip report on the NuPIC Discuss mailing list, and we're going to be going over Sprint 26, see how we did, and then move on to plan Sprint 27. So here goes my screen share. This is an updated status board. So all of our repo statuses are good except for the regression test repository, and that is a known issue. That's my responsibility. I hope to have that cleared up this coming sprint. But otherwise, everything else is passing, although there have been some Travis hiccups, and I've had to restart a few jobs. I am keeping track of the intermittent build failures so that they can be investigated if they continue to repeat. Okay, so this is our aggregated issue tracker. Let's look at currently open pull requests. The optimized imports is running. That's probably going to merge as soon as it passes. That's just a Python optimization. This Sprinter thing I might get to, that's one of my tools, but I haven't tested that. So Utensil's been working on updating our C++ test framework to catch. We're probably going to hold off on this PR until we have a discussion on the hackers mailing list or on the commit list, and have a vote about what style of tests we want to make the standard for NuPIC and associated C++ anywhere else in the Mint open source projects. So I'm probably going to put off that discussion until Monday, and then we'll deal with that then. Jayton has been working on this new temporal memory implementation that's going through revisions. I think the build's failing at the moment. And then Mark is working on this issue with checking model data type on input that is currently sort of stalled. I haven't heard from him in a while. 9 days I pinged him. 9 days ago I pinged him, so I'm just going to leave that there. But none of these are super crucial PRs at this point, so we're probably just going to move them along with their issues into the next sprint. Taking a look at closed PRs, I did a lot of small minor tasks on tooling things. The green bars here are tooling repositories. The blue ones are kind of our core essential repos like NuPIC and NuPIC core. So let's look at the important ones. So for NuPIC core, most of this stuff is cleanup work and testing work. And stuff that got closed but wasn't necessarily merged in. But let's see, anything major in here besides cleanup? Jayton did a little algorithm work, but I don't believe there's really anything major that happened in NuPIC core this past sprint. Yeah. So in NuPIC, a few minor fixes. Removed a template file that was never executed anywhere, which fixed a syntax warning in the build. A few of these are working towards making sure we're deploying the right stuff to PyPy. Oh yeah, I need to fix this reload issue someday. And some of this is README stuff. All this documentation stuff is mostly README updates, along with that kind of came after the pip merge, and then we had our pip installable merge. That's the big deal that happened on NuPIC this past sprint. So we're not to the point where you can type pip install NuPIC yet. That will come once we get it packaged and properly uploaded to PyPy, and that's something I'm going to work on this coming sprint. Most of the other stuff is just minor tooling issues, website issues, and app issues. So I don't think I'm going to take the time to review all of the closed pull requests. So let's look at open issues. In Sprint 27, that's the sprint we're currently planning, This morning I got a little antsy, and for some reason I moved all the issues I knew I was going to be working on already into Sprint 27. Probably should have waited until we had this meeting, but it saved me a few minutes of time. So all these stuff are just things that I'm planning on working on this coming sprint. So the current open issues in Sprint 26, I thought since we have all these assignees over here, we would just go one by one. So this is Mark's issue. This is that PR that he currently has open. So that is going to get moved into the next sprint. Although I have not heard from him, I still think I might as well keep it open and going for him. So there's still an issue assigned to you, Jeff, about cleaning up the DAT GUI controller logic. Is that something that you are planning on working on?
Yeah, I can do that probably in the next couple of weeks. I might be able to find a little time to do that.
So we'll push that through. Austin, you still have an issue for the Solar stuff. You want to give us a quick update on that for the open source guys? Austin, are you there? Okay, I'm going to come back to you. Let me know when you have audio.
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
All right, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically working with the help of someone at Fujitsu, getting NuPIC Core up and running. And I've actually been able to get both NuPIC Core and NuPIC building, and that includes all of the dependencies like YAML and API util, etc. But I'm still running into some issues with linking. And I'm supposed to have a call early next week with someone there to help maybe clear up some issues regarding the stuff that's specific to that platform to get the linking addressed. So I think it's in good shape. You know, it's just a matter of getting the platform-specific link flags worked out.
Okay. Great. So we'll move that along, and hopefully we hear back from them. Let's go to Jayton. You're still working on the TM algorithm?
Yep.
And what about this get neighbors issue?
That is, we could look into that this sprint. I think it's probably not an issue.
You think it's probably going to be closed as not an issue then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you could get to it. I mean, it's up to you. Do you want me to put it in next sprint or leave it out?
Sure, put it in next sprint.
Okay. Will do. And the TM, I will obviously put in the next sprint.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Virage's two issues, a C++ example code for network API, and then options for language-independent serialization format? Scott?
Yeah, it's kind of on hold. We need to decide what we're going to do at some point. I guess I need to talk with you about how to move forward on that.
Okay. On the serialization stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a network API?
Sorry, what was that?
Which one were you talking about?
Network API.
Never mind. In that case, it's in progress. Actually, I didn't. Is there a reason that says C++?
Because that's what the original issue said in JIRA. This was translated from an old JIRA issue.
Okay, so Mirage is working on, I think, a Python version of it and got kind of stuck. So that got transferred to me, and I'm going to be working on that this sprint. Yeah, if I have time, I'll do a C++ version of it too.
So do you think there should be 2 issues, one for Python and one for C++ here?
I guess so.
Okay. All right, well, Raj has already signed to this, and he said he's working on one for Python, but he's stuck. So I'm going to take the C++ one out, since that's not actually being worked on, but we'll leave it as an issue. And then we'll just create a real quick one for Python. And I'm going to leave it assigned to Viraj right now. And we'll put that one in Sprint 27. We'll call it an example. There we go. Okay. Let's go to David. So I think there's a PR for this. A couple of these are just about bundling and packaging properly with pip so that we get the right thing in PyPy. We do have a PyPy bundle out there, but it doesn't work, so there's a few things that are missing. That's what this is about. And I think he gave me an example of what to do, and then I need to do it. So I'm gonna assign this back to me because I was the one that originally working on this. So we will definitely move this over to Sprint 27. And the exec function thing, that's something that David wanted to do. I'm going to leave that with him, and I still think that's important. Although David has kind of moved on to start doing this visual stuff. David, if you're watching this, I would love you to work on these other few things that you wanted to do with the region implementation factory before you move on to another large project. So I'm going to put this in the next sprint and try and coerce you into working on it before you get into another big project. Same thing with this region implementation factory change, moving it into NuPIC as Python instead of C. So David and I have talked about that, so see if we can get him moving on that. Utensil is mostly working right now on testing. So I believe definitely the C++ unit test thing, we're going to move into the next sprint. I mentioned we're going to have a discussion, potentially a vote about that on the mailing list soon. Okay. This one, I don't entirely remember if he was going to start on this or not, but I'm going to move it anyway, so we don't lose track of it. And this guy is a minor thing. It's still happening. I noticed it today, but I would much rather him work on one of those other issues because this is just a minor tooling issue. So I'm going to pull that out. Okay, so and then we still have 4 unassigned issues. I'd love to get anybody who wants to jump in on those to jump in on them. So we'll move all of those over. I'll move all those over at once this is done. Okay, so what do we have left in Sprint 26? Sorry, wait for my page to reload here. There we go. I forget to do some of these. Okay. Okay, so the serialization one we'll talk about, but I'm gonna move it, and then that'll give me a reminder to talk about it with you. Somehow I forgot. Somehow I missed these. Oh, this problem running Python tests. I'm waiting on a response from someone in the community to confirm something. I believe this is because they had a dash in their username. If I can confirm that, I can close it. So still waiting on that. Okay. And cleaning up import statements, that's currently happening. I'll probably be able to merge that soon. There's PR for that as well. Those are just Python imports. I don't know how I missed these. And then the unassigned ones, I'll just take care of those real quick. I want to move these along from sprint to sprint because they're easy, low-hanging fruit for somebody new to come in. and work on something. They don't have to know a bunch of stuff about NuPIC. It might help them get into the code base a little better. Sorry about jumping around so much. And then the snake case. Okay. All right, so that should be everything for Sprint 26. We should have nothing in Sprint 26 now. There's one more. What did I miss? Oh, this AppVeyor CI build thing. I'm going to take that out unless. So this is Utensil's initiative to try and get a build on Windows. I don't know where he's at on this. I know he made some progress. He actually created a build on AppConveyor, but I haven't kept up with his progress at this point. I think it was somewhat working.
So this is like some way to virtualize or hack it on top of Windows, rather than compile natively. Is that right? Yeah,
it's some type of AppConveyor is just another build pipeline for .NET. I believe it's for .NET. And he created a configuration for NuPIC, or started working on a configuration. We're looking at it here for NuPIC Core specifically. So he could start trying to build NuPIC Core on a Windows platform. A lot of it was just to investigate what it was going to take to do this. So it's good work. I don't know what his progress is exactly at this point, and I don't know how. If he's, I mean, last comment was 25 days ago, so I don't know if he's planning on working on this soon or not. He's been the one that's mostly done the Windows sort of prep work or investigative work to figure out what it's going to take. So definitely don't want to discourage him from doing that. But at the same time, he's working on the testing stuff, which I think is immediately more important. So I think we're going to put this on the backlog, Utensil, until I hear from you that you're making some more progress on it. Okay. So that.
This is great that you spend a lot of time on this stuff. The only thing I'm worried about with the Windows stuff is before he spends a lot of time on that, we might want to make sure that we actually want to, like, he's doing it in a way that we actually want to include it. Like, I don't know if we'll want to do an app conveyor rather than trying to just get it natively built.
Yeah, so it is kind of odd because it's a different pipeline, and it might be sort of the same way we end up doing an OSX build. I'm not sure. We talked about creating a Windows branch that AppConveyor will use that has the configuration in place, but I'm not sure. It's all kind of up in the air. I mean, we can't disrupt our current pipelines. If we have like some type of tertiary build that just runs Windows every once in a while, that's better than nothing. And if he's going to do the work for it, then I would be happy with that. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss any pull requests. Gotta get rid of that reload. Yeah, okay, so let me update the PRs real quick. Even with this tooling, there's a lot of things to click on to go from sprint to sprint. And one more thing. All right. So we should be all updated now. Should be able to close Sprint 26, which I'll do offline with the CLI tool. Yeah, so now we just have Sprint 27. Yeah, only issues in Sprint 27. So our issues, 27 issues in Sprint 27. Looks like I've got 12, 4 unassigned, and a few sprinkled throughout the rest of the guys. 5 open PRs that I already reviewed. And that's where we're at. So my main priority for this sprint is to get PyPy working properly so that people can pip install NuPIC. If I do that correctly, I'll get the regression tests working properly as well. Other than that, I've been tasked to create a tutorial for the NuPIC geospatial app. So that's what I'm mainly going to work on. And I think that's it. So does anybody else have any topics that they think are relevant to talk about the upcoming work this next 2 weeks? Okay, guys, we're good to go. That's it. Quick planning session.
Great, thanks.
All right, take care. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
You too. Thanks.
Bye now.